What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. We have Chelsea West Ham in a London derby. Chelsea's second London derby of the season, I believe. Just trying to count that. Yeah, I think it is. Players are just standing now on the pitch. Lineups they're out. Chelsea's looks okay. I mean, Enzo's returned straight away, which I didn't think was deserved, to be honest with you. And I'm interested to see how that affects the balance. Yes, Bobby. Love that, my man. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, early kickoff for Chelsea today. I'm not sure if people are gonna be up for this one or not. It's an early one. I was chatting to Mo. He was telling me it's so early for him to get up. So yeah, obviously we're here. If people want to tune in for the watch along, I'll give my thoughts. It looks really dark on the camera. Is that just for me, or is that no? It does look dark. Three changes. So Tosin starts, which is it probably means that we're gonna see Fofana playing that sort of right back role, which I thought he did okay in. I'm kind of hoping that we don't lose the midfield in the way that we did the last time Enzo and Casado played together. Sancho, I think, deserves to start, so let's see what happens. Subs bench looks strong. That's the one thing I'll say is I feel okay about most of the people. Oh, what's this, Bobby? You got to get these. You've got to set up these streams the night before so people can see the blue dot and click the notification button. How's that work? Right, okay. The blue dot. I don't even know what that is. You're giving me a lot of help. Okay, I can do that. I just don't know where they are or where that is. The blue dot. Is that on YouTube? Is it? Yeah, we can get that sorted eventually. Plan them out because I'm going to be doing them for this season, so it makes sense then. Just trying to sort out the yeah. Here we go. What are people's thoughts on this one? Are people confident? Because I'm not entirely certain of what we're looking ahead to be honest with you. I feel like this could be a slightly tricky one to navigate, but also I feel like West Ham really haven't looked too great this season, so Chelsea should be in a position where it looks okay. I'm just trying to sort out the lighting. So we're in our away kit as well. Don't get me wrong. What I will say is this away kit's growing on me. At first, I wasn't having it, but now, apart from the collar, I quite like it. But the home kit, yeah, that's atrocious. Right, here we go then. Oh, the scoreboard. I'll start it on a minute, so we're good to go. Okay, I won't. I'll start on 30 seconds. There we go. We should be on it. Yeah. Oh no, why does it say second on? Don't do that. Yes. Decent. Right, early doors. I'm seeing the midfielder and Cucurella inverting. Cole Palmer's dropping into like an 8 as well there. Casado's in at the 6. Cucurella's inverted as a centre midfielder in a double pivot. Enzo Fernandez is playing out on the left, like in that similar role that we've seen him pick up under Maresca so far. And Wesley Fofana looks high, and what I'm wondering whether Fofana's gonna be playing in that Malo Gusto sort of role. I haven't seen him yet on the camera. Yeah. Okay. Slow start, slow and steady. Just trying to see where Enzo's gonna pick up because I think Maresca got it totally wrong the last time he played with where he sort of asked him to pick up his space on the pitch. It just didn't really work. Go on, Coots. Go on, Rhea. Striding through. I'll tell you what, our back line, it looks a little bit more physical with Tosin in there as well, I'd say. To have Fofana because if Cucurella pushes him and inverts, it's almost like a back three. Jackson runs in behind. Red or blue dot, Desmond. Do you know what, Bobby? I never knew that, man. I never, ever, ever knew that. I've seen that dot, and I never knew that's what it meant. Never knew that. Yeah, I never knew that's what that meant. Crazy. They're in here. Kudus enters Chelsea's box. He shoots. Early doors. Sanchez just about stops that going through his legs. And that's a foul for me on Nicholas Jackson from number 15, Mavropanos. Bobby, what's your thoughts? Do you think Chelsea can win this one? Well, we're in here. Quick free kick. Jackson's driving down the left-hand side, enters West Ham's box. Get your shot off, Jacko. He scored! Yes! 3 minutes in. Come on, Nico. What a finish through his legs. Come on. Sancho and Nico so switched on there. West Ham sleeping. That's from an awful free kick to give away for Panos. Jackson scored 3 minutes in. Come on, you Blues. Come on. Get in. Up the... Oi. What a start. That free kick, they are so far ahead of West Ham by miles. Nico scores again. There's me complaining, saying Nkunku's on the bench. Don't get me wrong, though. Nicholas Jackson's making it difficult for him this season. Look at this. Jacko knocks it back. Enzo thinks quickly. Little 1-2 with Sanch. Miles onside. And just keeps running. Edson Alvarez is treading water. Keeper's legs are wide open and Jackson puts it through. Chelsea 1-0. There we go. That is the start I want to see. Jackson's finish. Yeah, I love that. We spoke about Jackson not being clinical. That is clinical. Come on. Get in. What a start. Up the Blues. Oi, Nico Jackson. I love that. What a goal, my man. What a goal. The worst start since my last 18-0. Oh, mate, mum's birthday this weekend. No goal for me. Regarding the lineup, I was about to accuse Icardi of being invincible, making a risk. Mate, honestly, yeah, Bobby, something's going on here with Nkunku. You can't tell me that Nkunku doesn't. Nkunku instead of Enzo, I think makes this team better. I think he does. So I think Enzo Fernandez is the one who's got to put in a performance here that's unbelievable. Because Enzo could come in and lose out in that sort of number 10 role that he's in. /8. Well, I don't know. He's not really a 10, is he? But he drifts. It's a bit different today, I think. Cole Palmer and Madueke are extremely close to each other, though. But obviously, we saw the last time Enzo played, it looked like that. But I think it's looking a little bit different now. I think it's looking a little bit different now. Uh, that's a great finish. Unbelievable. Sancho might have to go in my fantasy team. He's looking good. Levi on the ball. Good pass, Levi. Come on, Enzo loses the ball again. Jackson picks it back up. Oh, Steppies absolutely send number 24. I don't know who that is. Oh, Enzo, that's a nice pass, mate. Sancho just on a different wavelength there, but where there's no pictures of Jackson in the new oh, yeah, that'll do. What honestly, what a finish. Assist from Sancho. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love that, my man. Yeah, great, honestly, great start from Chelsea in that regards. Like, we were so far ahead of West Ham on that free kick. Jackson took it, knocked it back to Enzo. They took it quickly. I'm not quite sure if Enzo took the free kick or Jackson took the free kick actually, but either way, they both were very switched on. Sancho with the 1-2. Jackson just drove and drove and drove from the left-hand side and put it through his legs. Oh, that's a good cross though. This game's lively. I'm gonna be honest. This is waking people up on a Saturday early afternoon. Kudus is gonna cause Cucurella some trouble. He's gonna cause him some trouble, I can tell you that now. He definitely is. What are we doing? Okay. I'm just trying to see what we're gonna see from Wesley Fofana out of right back because he's actually staying quite disciplined. He's straight back outside. Oh, Levi Colwell's passing today. So far, 8 minutes in, very, very good. Very good. Like he's navigating in some difficult areas. Navigating the ball, I should say, through some difficult areas. Enzo, it's actually not a bad ball, but he gives it away. Do you know what? Enzo just has to put so much on his passes, and they never still have enough power. Look, it's okay. It's a good attempt, but it's not great. It's Enzo Fernandez turning over possession again. Keeper. Sanchez, man. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of miscommunication there. A little bit of miscommunication because I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sold on that at all. Okay, where's this? Yeah. It's slow, isn't it? It's the one thing I'll say is like as soon as okay, hear me out on this. That goal again has come from transition, has come from a moment where we're converting the game from attack from defense to attack or a free kick into an attacking situation in our own half. On the ball right now, on playing Maresca's system, actually trying to get through teams, we're just so slow. I don't think we ever look like we're going to score goals. I just haven't seen any difference. Levi's trying to stride through there. He does. Jackson's running Edson Alvarez again. Cucurella plays it through. Same position as where he scored from, entering the box. Comes inside this time. Cole Palmer. Oh, just past the post. Oh, it should be 2-0. Last season, bar Middlesbrough, that's 2-0. Jackson, exactly the same run as before, comes inside the box this time, cuts inside the box this time, and Cole Palmer just off his ankle, just drags it wide. Unlucky. Oh, Chelsea should be 2-0 up. Now, off off of what I've seen so far, West Ham running back towards their own goal look concerned. They look worried. It looks like Chelsea could hurt them, but it also looks like Kudus is gonna have the beating of Cucurella so far. He's taken him on a couple of times, and he's worked a bit of space for a cross or an attempt on goal. And we're only 12 minutes in, and I think he might have done it 3 times. So I would say, Kudus would be the player that they're trying to isolate as well. By the way, that is a player I would swap the majority of our right-hand side in definitely Madueke. I'd have Kudus instead. Definitely would. And I even think Pedro Neto at the moment because I don't think he's done a lot. Jackson just loses the ball there. West Ham are interesting to me at the moment because under Lopetegui, I just don't think they're playing in a way that is exciting, that's a good brand of football. I almost feel like if they're gonna be this negative, like they are at times, like that's just a lump forward. And they moaned about David Moyes. They've just smashed the ball, a long ball, by the way, not a long pass, a long ball. David Moyes would have had his team playing better football than this, a bit more organised at times. I think West Ham wanted better than Moyes, which is crazy. I just don't think they're going to get that. Not with Lopetegui, anyway. Go on, Madueke. You're one on one now. Run him. No, gives the ball away. Guys, we need to. If Noni doesn't have a good game today, we need to have a conversation about him starting every week. I think because I think there's a player there that he could be an impact player. Wins that well, Wesley. What? Oh, come on, ref. Wesley Fofana's sprinted back, wins that challenge. I don't think that's a free kick. Who was it on? Uh, Emerson. Let's see this back, shall we? Wesley Fofana is miles back. Miles. He's on the halfway line as they're like on the 18-yard line. Comes. I don't think that's a free kick. That's a dangerous. It's not. He's got the ball first there, and he barely takes the man. I just don't think that's a free kick. It's in a dangerous area now as well. Dangerous area for West Ham. Free kick. Paquetá and Emerson are over this one. Paquetá's had a quiet season so far, so this would spring it into life. Sancho seems to be the draft excluder in Chelsea's wall nowadays. He's gone under it, Paquetá, and ultimately Chelsea have stopped that. What? Why? I would never look to go under a wall if there's a draft excluder there. I don't even know if it hit him. I just still wouldn't try it. That's such a waste for West Ham, by the way. I'm just trying to sort out. Mm, is that better? That might be too bright. Dale, how we doing, my man? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm just working on the brightness. Give me 2 seconds because it looks so dark. No, I don't. I actually don't think that's making much of a difference, mate. One sec. Is that better? That's better, to be honest. It just it just looked too dark. Could barely see anything. Yeah, what we saying, Dale? Happy with the performance so far? I feel like we've looked okay. I'm seeing us scoring a goal in transition again, where Maresca said that isn't how he intends for his team to be scoring goals or intends for his team to be playing. That's not what he wanted, apparently, which I'm hoping he meant that was like a that was lost in translation because honestly, it's the way we're scoring goals at the moment. I do it. Oh, come on, Enzo. Cucurella has literally inverted so much here. He's basically playing inside the centre circle. Although the midfield are very close together and they play a through ball. Jackson's in here. Jackson scores. Come on. Get in. 2-0. Get in. The midfield play there between Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, and Casado's eventual through pass to Jackson. Unbelievable. Nicholas Jackson with the finish, by the way. He's on for a hat trick away at West Ham. Come on, Nico. Unbelievable. Guys, if you haven't seen that, get on a website now to have a look because I'm sure that'll be on X. Unbelievable little bit of football inside the centre circle there. 3 passes between Cucurella. Cucurella receives, plays it back to Casado. Casado into Levi Colwell. Oh, the football is unbelievable. That football's great. Honestly, that football is great between Levi Colwell, Enzo, Cucurella, and Casado into Jackson. Unbelievable. Now, that is the type of goal and the type of football I want to see Chelsea playing. That's what I was promised. Come on, get in. That's what people were telling me. That's the type of football people were telling me that Maresca would have this team playing. I just haven't seen it yet. All these idiots that I speak to and I've listened to telling me that Maresca's already got Chelsea. No, we ain't played like that at all. A couple of moments this season. That's the type of football. Come on, Enzo. You've been doing your job, mate. Fair play. Come on, Chelsea. Keep that up. What I will say is West Ham are looking poor. In midfield, they look woeful. Yeah, then I agree. Maresca is making his mark on the team. If that's the style of football we're going to see, yes, he. Oh my gosh, Levi, we got away with that one. West Ham still aren't like they're not out of this though because straight away they're on the attack again. West Ham corner, 2-0, 19 minutes. Honestly, that football there in the midfield, that's what I'm after. That's what people told me would be happening under yeah, but it's because we're on the early kickoff, right? But I'll take it. It's the highest we've been in years, mate. We're going to come off the pitch of a nosebleed. Uh, Chelsea to defend a corner. Just trying to see where we're at here. I'm okay with everyone apart from Cucurella marking Max Kilman. Cucurella marking Max Kilman's a worrying one. And Levi Colwell. Levi Colwell's having a good game, guys. Levi Colwell's having a really good game. Voice has gone a bit there, but I'm excited. Yeah, Levi's having a good game. Quetta gives the ball away again. Cole Palmer, look, Enzo Fernandez gives the ball away again, which is a shame because he's just had a good moment there. But again, he's sloppy. And a risky outside of the foot pass in the middle of the pitch when we could have been on transition and start moving towards West Ham's loose and leaky defense that's there right now. And Enzo just gives the ball away. It's so poor. Like you have to be a level above that in the Premier League. Otherwise you're 2-0 down like West Ham are. So that's really silly. But right now, although Cole Palmer's had a chance, where Cole Palmer is picking up the ball, that's not the area I think he should be picking the ball up in. And I think something needs to be done about that, to be honest with you. There's too many people playing in that area. There's Cucurella, Enzo, and Casado at times because it's almost like a 3. Honestly, we need to see someone. Oh, Cucurella. we need to see Cole Palmer in a different area there. He's just not even getting on the ball. It's almost like a Jackson plays through Noni, Noni gives it the run. It's almost like a 4. It's like a square. That's the type of shape I'm seeing. And then Cucurella obviously back out to left back when we're off the ball. But Wesley Fofana is just basically staying as a constant right back. He's barely inverting at all. Dale, Dale, I kind of agree with this. I think some of the academy boys will get it, and that's why it's important to keep them around. I've always said that. Um, Maybe Maresca will understand it because, like, we've come out flying, which I think is important to do in a derby, and we've scored our goals in a way that's very, very quick. And as soon as we've seen an opportunity to for a runner in behind, great. Like Jackson's running in behind was even good against Bournemouth, and people were saying they were slating him a lot. He just Casado tried that same pass today a few times against Bournemouth, and it just didn't work because Jackson could. Maybe the defenders were better. I'm not sure, but it just didn't work for Jackson against Bournemouth. That type of pass, but today it's worked straight away, and his finish is great. That's a great run from Paqueta. Bowen's found him. Bowen's going to shoot here. Miles over. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that completely. Um, Good start. Good start. 23 minutes in. We're dealing with things defensively. He's nearly offside there. It's very close. I think Levi just kept him on. Lopetegui, by the way, he's going crazy. Crazy. But this is what a week off allows Chelsea to have, which won't happen a lot this season. Sanchez into Sancho. Jackson holds the ball up, turns number. I don't know who 24 is, but he's turned him again. Oh, Rodriguez. Cole Palmer driving on the right hand side of the pitch now. Out to Madueke. He's a little bit further out on the right. Madueke comes back to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer tries to put it through the legs, loses it, but will fight for it back. And Somerville's driving now away. Casado, well done. Good recovery there, Casado. And Enzo Fernandez just recycles it back out. Do you know what? It's slow, and it's in moments like this I've seen other managers. They don't reset completely like we're doing under Maresca here, but especially in a derby, it's allowing us to control the game, and it's drawing West Ham onto us, which is exposing that space in behind that Jackson's found a couple of times there. But we've given it away, and when we give it away, the way we're playing is that they're a lot closer to our goal than we want them to. Bobby, I have to agree. In a London derby, I think West Ham are all over the place. Last year under Moyes, I don't see this happening. Not at the London Stadium. We lost 3-1 in this fixture last year. So that's truthful. We know that's the case. Cole Palmer is as high up defensively as Jackson, actually. I'm just trying to see. We're defending in a 4. I think we're pretty much defending in a 4-4-2 still. This is what I mean. West Ham have barely been oh, West Ham have barely been in a position this game to assess how Chelsea are setting up defensively, because when they've had their opportunity to spin in transition as well, it's been a really good 25 minutes. Like for a neutral, it's probably been quite exciting as well. Sanchez looking to play out from the back every single time now. Chelsea, Colwell unlucky there. Little sidewinder, but it just gets given away. West Ham on the ball again. They're just trying to establish some sort of possession. I would say their midfield looks incredibly slow in Edson Alvarez and Rodriguez, and Paqueta's not exactly quick. I think their midfield in transition is struggling, and we've exposed that. We have. Mavropanos. Is he the ex-Arsenal guy, is he? You can see why he weren't going to play. They've switched another long ball out to Kudus. Kudus is one-on-one. I think he scores here if he gets this right. Who got in the way there? I think that was Cooks. Cucurella looks beat, yeah, turns around. The diag's pretty nice, isn't it? Oi, Cucurella. Cucurella. Oh my gosh, he's making Kudus tremble. He's done there. Kudus is away from him. He's worked a shot. But Cucurella, in the time that Kudus is pulling the trigger, commits, goes to the ground, blocks the shot. Unbelievable. Uh, look, Bobby, I hear you on that, right? There is a little bit of luck. Like in the games where teams have looked bad, we've okay, hear me out on this. Yes, he may be slightly lucky that we've put in good performances on the days that we've played teams that have been bad. But Pochettino last season played bad games, played teams who had bad games and drew. So maybe this is where we're seeing Maresca preparing better than Poch, right? Because Maresca has probably identified where West Ham are going to be vulnerable because we keep hitting them there. We keep hitting West Ham where they're vulnerable. They're having a lot of the ball out wide. Oh, that could be a penalty. I don't. That could be a pen. Exactly on, right? Everyone can have bad games, but the most important thing is if we're able to get results when we're having bad games, that moves you up the table. We know that as Chelsea fans. We've won Premier Leagues having bad spells where we've won 1-0 or we've had to get a draw. We know that's okay. Under Poch, that was the issue. We had bad games and we actually got a bad result. Or we played against a team that had a bad game and we couldn't win. Enzo, no need to do that, Enzo. He swung his hand up there. He knew that would get him in trouble. They might check this pen. If there's a penalty for West Ham, Enzo Fernandez, you know what you're doing. That's so dumb. That's that. I think that's the pen. I think that could be a penalty. Fafana's Somerville's run away off the ball past Fafana. The ball's passed to his running path, and he's being pulled back by Fafana one hand in the box. I think this could be a pen because Somerville's not going to ground there. Fafana don't hold him. He's past Fafana. I think this could be a penalty. It's whether or not they think it's clear and obvious, but I I think this could be a penalty, but I think they're gonna say that it's not. But on the basis of what we've had off of refs the last few games, about time we got a bit of luck. But I do think that I would want the penalty. I think he's holding on for him for just a second too long. I think that's what's going on there. Second too long. Come on. Corner again. This is where I'm looking at Chelsea. Set piece coach. What effect is he having on the team? Cucurella is still marking Max Kilman. Watch out for this battle today. Noni's head on it first. Wan-Bissaka back in. Cucurella away again. Alvarez away. Fofana away. Edson Alvarez back in. Tossing, lazy clearance. Paqueta's trying to break down. This is a bit of an old-fashioned moment of football right here. Kudos gets the ball on the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka's across. Cuts it back inside. Paqueta. Oh, no, who's that? Sancho gives it away. Enzo through his legs. Cucurella. Boys, let's settle. Let's settle, Chelsea. Come on. Sancho with a high foot there as well. Kudos. He's going to work a shot or a pass here. Irons. That you know what that looked like? If you've seen the QPR goal the other day. Oh, they're in here. Kudos. Goal. Maybe offside. Maybe offside. Maybe offside. It's 2-1 if not. That was nuts. Like, that's an experience, man. Yeah, he's off, he's off, he's off. Do you know what? That's the first type of pass where Paqueta's really tried that to, like, cut the lines, and he did it. Um, Kudos is just offside, but, um, Enzo Fernandez has cut Kudos's lip, actually. Honestly, that I'm surprised that's not a yellow for him. He smashed his arm back into him like that, like an armbar. Yeah, no goal, no goal. That was hectic, guys. Honestly, it was like header, 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 header. Just out of control football where the squad and there's not a leader in there to be like, either get this ball away or put this ball on the deck and start playing. Like they're just it wasn't happening. I haven't seen that in a Premier League game of football in a long time. Like a long time. That was nuts. We got away with that there, guys, honestly. That could have quite easily been 2-1 and we would have deserved it. Sancho gave the ball away a couple of times. A couple of them with loose headers, Tosin with a woeful clearance. Silly, really silly to do that on the edge of your box. Because 2-1, it's a whole different kettle of fish. The stadium gets behind West Ham. It's just crazy. Especially when we've won the ball in like chaotic moments already. And then the first instinct is to pass the ball back into our own half, draw West Ham back onto us, and slow it back down. That is just the complete opposite. Enzo Fernandez all the way out to Sancho, does well there. Sancho's one-on-one again here with Edson Alvarez. I think this could be Noni. This is looking dangerous. Sancho, work your shot, Sanch. Work your shot. Jackson, oh, it's so soft. But ultimately, again, Chelsea are finding that left-hand side against Edson Alvarez when he's getting back out there because it's not really been against Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's not been there for the times. It's when Wan-Bissaka's gone forward. Chelsea have gone in behind Wan-Bissaka. Another diag out towards Wan-Bissaka and Kudus' side again. This is where West Ham are continuously looking to build. They're looking a little bit comfier, West Ham, but Casado's won it here. He's playing another through ball out to the left-hand side for Jackson. Jackson in the same area of the pitch from where he scored from, driving into the box. It's almost mirror image. He goes inside the box this time. Mavropanos with a foot there. Casado wins it again. Jackson fighting for it. Casado handballs it. West Ham on the counter attack. Numbers are back though. This is what I like about Maresca's football, and I've stated this already. He's always got defenders and players back in his rest defense. Always. Always does. I do like that. Four huge defenders there waiting. Fafana, Tosin, Kukureya's there, Levi Colwell's there, Enzo's back, and then now the whole team's back. That's scary, but there's a couple of intricate passes coming from West Ham, and they're starting to try and thread the needle. Souček's coming on into midfield. I think they need that. I think they need that in midfield. I'm not surprised, and I doubt that's for an injury. Their midfield is struggling today. It is. And you know what? Credit where it's due to Chelsea's midfield because there's no vacancy there like there was. That Crystal Palace game was a monumental F up, I think. I think they got that completely wrong and they've looked at it and been like, this is what we don't want. Like, we don't want this again. Enzo's been in a better area. Kukureya's been in a better area and been allowed to do it. Casado as well. Oh, by the way, boys and girls, if you're watching, Sanchez on the ball. Short passing is very good. Madueke here. One-on-one again. He's obviously going on his left foot. He shoots. It's not far. It's not far away. That's what I love is that on the left side, causing so much damage, so much damage. and then we're able to move out to the right-hand side, 24. I said that Rodriguez was struggling. He's coming off 36 minutes in. He him and Edson Alvarez on the counter attack, they're treading water. I don't know if Souček's quicker here, but this isn't an injury. I don't think this is an injury. This is a you haven't been good enough today. Wow. He might be look, let's see what happens with him, but that might be, I think they probably saw 2 things. He's struggling. On the ball, he's not done much, Rodriguez. Off the ball, in transition, he's looking like a serious weakness. The ball's being popped around him. And then, not just that, if there's another moment defensively, like what we've just seen from Chelsea, Souček's the man West Ham want on the pitch. He definitely is. But Souček doesn't get credit where it's due for what he offers on the ball as well. He's quite a composed player who will just add a little bit more control, I think, in some situations for West Ham. I think that's why they're doing that. Luckily, we're 2-0 up. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a bit of a difference here with him coming on or not, because we've obviously found a lot of space in that midfield. It's been leaky and it's been loose. Like there's a lot of space in a lot of different areas there. Vertically and horizontally, there's gaps between their players where Chelsea have been able to put 3 midfielders. Their midfield is it's all over the gaff. But Souček will start to cause a problem as he always does, especially from corners and set pieces. Because if we haven't got enough big players to be marking their centre backs, and Cucurella's already doing one of those jobs. Now Souček's in that box as well. Who's marking him? You've got to put one of the big centre forwards on him. Paqueta beats Cucurella here. Cucurella recovering, pushes him. Might be a goal kick. I think we've actually got a goal kick there. Or throw in? Throw in. I think maybe he's dribbled it out. Maybe he dribbled that out. Yeah, look, I've got to be honest. Thomas Souček is uh is the type of player I would have been starting. I think he's got this affinity to players that are going to be ball players that are from Spain, and I'm going to try and play in that way. But Souček's a proven Premier League player now. Like everyone knows what he brings. He offers West Ham a threat in so many different situations. Defensively as well, he's good in the box. Offensively, very good, as we all know. It's just Souček's almost like the modern day Peter Crouch, I think. Um, because I don't think there's many other players that have a similar profile in the Premier League anymore. You know what it is that aesthetically, he wouldn't be that pleasing. Like, I'm just looking at him now. Like aesthetically, he's not he's not that appealing to look at. But his movement, he's just doing things that Rodriguez wasn't doing. So they're on the and by the way, I'm talking about him more because they're having a bit more of the ball since come on. Kudus cuts inside. Good block from Cole. Souček shoots. He's got a shot off straight away in the box. Do you know what I mean? Kudus beats a couple of men. Kudus is such an exciting player. And then Souček drifted in, edge of the box, gets his shot off. Right, we're on the ball again. Sanchez looking to play out. No pressure on Sanchez, by the way, which I'm sure will change. Here we go. Somerville pressing. Tosin. Mm. This is a little bit too much because I don't just let's see. We're just trying to play out from the back, and sometimes I just think it's overplaying for no reason. Cole Palmer out to Sancho. Cole Palmer has really not been in this game a lot, and I just think he's going to be the player that his position is going to change so much. By the way, we aren't seeing the doubling up that we saw like in another game, even like the last game against Bournemouth. We're not seeing that. Palmer's just in a more congested area of the pitch, I'd say. Um, and the way Chelsea are playing, they're not looking to go through Cole Palmer every time, which is what we did under Poch, and it allowed him to be so effective. Now that they're just not passing to him. Enzo looks to pass, gives the ball away. Like, honestly, when are we going to start talking about this? He's done it a lot today. He's been okay, but in moments, he's giving the ball away. We have to remember that you can do a lot better than Enzo Fernandez, and he costs as much as a player that can do a lot better than Enzo Fernandez, and he isn't doing it. But on the whole, this is probably the best I've seen Chelsea play this season, I think. I think this has been defensively very solid so far. Couple of moments, but you're always gonna have a couple of moments. The midfield has been ticking for me today. Sanchez. Oh my god, what are you doing? What are you doing? I have no idea what Sanchez just attempted to do. Kudos runs in behind. He's onside behind Cucurella, who's completely lost him. Sanchez comes out, makes no attempt to get the ball. His hands are like not even above his head. And Kudus just bodies him and he goes down. That is this is the issue, isn't it? Like, he can do a bit on the ball every now and then, but sometimes I think people think, like, what is this guy on? Jackson loses the ball there. Hillman looks to fed the pass. Enzo gets a foot on it, stands still. Cole Palmer, big heavy touch, loses it. Cole Palmer turns this time, looks at the early through ball. It's blocked by Suchek. Suchek's making a difference already. Making a difference already for West Ham. Enzo Fernandez, mate, some of these passes that are coming off Enzo, like, they're being completed, but they are half making it difficult for the teammate receiver. Oh, Noni with a fantastic touch. Levi Cole, no one's there. Enzo actually is treading water. Sancho enters the box here. Oh, unlucky Sancho. Do you know what? No one went. Colwell's played this fantastic pass out to Noni. Noni takes it with his back heel into his path, crosses it right foot. Everything right. No one is there. No striker. Enzo Fernandez was the first man there, which is just ridiculous. That should not be the case. Somerville fighting for Fana here. Driving, free kick, edge of the box, West Ham. Luckily, they've sold Ward-Prowse. Or he's on loan. That's a booking, I think, for Fofana. Yeah, that's definitely for oh, no, it's not. Why is who got booked? It's Casado actually that brought him down. So I don't know who's been booked there. Guys, we've got a few of us in the stream. Chelsea are 2-0 up. Make sure to smash a like if you haven't already. We're aiming for 20 likes today on the live. This is so far, for me, the most complete football I've seen Chelsea playing so far this season. I think it is. I think we're seeing defensively players doing their jobs very well. Let's see what happens from this free kick. Header. No, they've got their head on it though. Mavropanos, but it's just wide. Our midfield's been running the game at times. We've created a lot of opportunities for our forwards. We've exposed the team's weaknesses a number of times. One yellow card, which is better because we've been picking up a lot of bookings this season, I think. And going forward, Jackson has looked clinical. Noni Madueke's done stuff on the right-hand side. The quietest player for Chelsea today, Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, even obviously the defenders have more of the ball. We play out from the back, but yeah, Cole. Cole's had his shot very early on, and then not much. Sancho's been involved. Like, everyone's been involved, to be fair. It's not like Cole Palmer hasn't been involved. He's got on the ball a couple of times, tried some stuff. Kudus. Oh my gosh. Past Enzo, past Cucurella. We are tripled up on Kudus right now. Wan-Bissaka, Casado dispossesses him. Jackson doesn't fight for that ball, which is disappointing. Jackson, I know you've scored 2 goals, mate, but please put a shift in there. Go and try and compete for that. But Casado, very good. Kudos is a threat every single time he gets on the ball. We absolutely need to be aware of that, and if we're gonna have to double up, I'm okay with that because he's looked like West Ham's biggest threat so far today. I think he has. Um, Free kick, Emerson, Chelsea high line, obviously aiming for Souček. He knocks that through. Hillman couldn't keep it on. I'm hoping it's a goal kick. I think they're gonna say it's a corner. I don't think that's a corner, by the way. West Ham corner. I think the first with Souček on the pitch, Max Kilman obviously just them two proving there that they're the two that West Ham are going to be aiming for. Souček marked by Colwell. I don't mind that. Chelsea do well again. Noni slices it though, and it's a bit head. It's the same situation. Get the ball under control. Offside and half time. Good half, Chelsea. Good half. Honestly, that is that I think is the best half. I think that's the best half that we've seen. I know that Wolves game looks good because of like the way we broke through on the counter attack. I just think there was still that we started the game really well here as well. First half, you know what game was a bit more like that half? Palace, and we didn't take our chances. We've taken them today in a clinical fashion. We've questioned Jackson at times this season for those types of chances not being taken. And today he scored 2 of them. Both of the finishes, very good. Could have had more, by the way, as well. Cole Palmer, I think last season, bar that Middlesbrough game, like I said, scores. Defensively, Levi, look, I've slated Levi at times, but what we're seeing with a few more games is he's the player for me that's coming through with a bit more consistency than everyone else. Um, and I have to give him credit because his passing's been brave and it's been good. I question players in this system already not being brave enough. They have been today. Enzo's been brave with his passing. Okay, he's given the ball away a lot. Probably matched by Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's given the ball away a lot today. Sancho has been effective. When Sancho gets on the ball, he's a threat. It looks like something's going to happen more so than what we've seen from Pedro Neto so far this season, more so than what we've seen from Mudryk. On the other side, Noni Madueke looks like a threat. He's had a shot. He's had a good cross. Centre midfield, Casado's winning balls all around that midfield in so many different areas, offensively, in an offensive press, defensively in recovery, on the ball in a scramble. Casado's winning the ball. He's making fouls where he needs to. Yes, I know he just fouled the player on the edge of the box then, but Somerville's cutting in to shoot. He brings him down. He does what he needed to do. He stopped and delayed West Ham. Cucurella's coming in inverted like we saw towards the end of last season. He's having a good effect on the game. Okay, the issue I find with Cucurella is he's so forwards and front thinking that he often forgets about the player in behind. And we are seeing West Ham try to expose Cucurella in that moment. A couple of times the ball's gone over Cucurella's head and he's been caught in no man's land. But his recovery, Cucurella, is very good. He's very committed to the cause. We saw it where Kudus had him one-on-one, entered the box, and then Cucurella, the shot is just about to be taken by Kudus. He commits to the ground, slides, blocks the ball. It's everything you want to see from your defender once they're beaten. You don't want them beaten in the first place, but if they are, because the player's got a better level of quality, it's great. I'm really, really impressed with that so far. Really impressed. I would say most complete half of football I've seen from Chelsea this season, and credit where it's due to Maresca. Credit where it's due because Maresca's got us playing some nice football there. Some of that football is what I've been waiting for. For that second goal, that's exactly the type of football I've been expecting to see. And everyone told me that's the football we'd be getting. And I've been sat here like, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't. And people are calling me negative and they're saying, oh, Chelsea are playing much better football now under Maresca, blah, 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 blah. We haven't played football like that. We spent a game against Crystal Palace with barely anyone in the midfield. We had 3 players in that midfield executing clinical passes between each other over short distances, and when the space opened up because we drew players in with that short passing, bang, Casado threads the needle, Jackson's in, scores. That's really good football. Levi was involved, Cucurella, Enzo, and Casado, and then Jackson obviously to finish. It's a great goal. When we play the ball out to Jackson and he's out on the left-hand side and he's driving in, I know people are like, "Oh, Jackson's a winger, Jackson's a winger." I don't think that's a winger. I think that's a striker running his channels really, really well. You know who was the king of that? And I'm not saying Jackson's on that level, but Henry. Henry would drift out to the left-hand side with Perez, get on the ball, start driving in from the left-hand side, whip his shot round the keeper, put it through the keeper's legs, bury it. That's what a good striker does. A striker can go out wide, run the channels as well as doing a job centrally. The beauty of what Henri had back in the day when he used to drift out wide to the left to run his channels and obviously get the ball in those areas and link up with his wingers was that Bergkamp or someone else would then occupy the central role. Even United, when they played their 4-4-2 with Van Nistelrooy would pick up the central role and then other players would drift off around him. That's where I think an Nkunku in this team offers something. We saw Cole Palmer get an opportunity in a similar ilk that he drifted in edge of the box. The opportunity was there. He sliced it. But I do think that an Nkunku thrives in that situation. If Jackson goes out to the left, Nkunku will be there in the box if he's not able to score. Because a couple of times, it's not been as easy for Jackson to get towards the keeper like he did for his goal. And he's come onto his right foot, enters the box that way, and then he's looking for a pass, and it hasn't always been there. And I do think that there's room, and Nkunku has the quality, like, to make this game said and done already. Like 2-0 is a good scoreline, but 1 goal West Ham early doors, second half, it's a different game. But we could have killed that game off. But that is asking for like almost perfection, but it's what the best teams do. We're well aware of that. Um, West Ham, they look poor. They look really poor. I think they look better once Souček come on, but I do think they've struggled, definitely in transition as well. But yeah, as it goes, for me, the best half of the team. What do we think? Anyone happy? Anyone happy with it? Anyone got complaints? That's what I wanna see. Um, but the way we started, 20 minutes in, on fire. Sancho at that free kick, Sancho Jackson link up, brilliant. Just looking back at the goal now, it's a classy finish. It really is. West Ham are sleeping, by the way, absolutely sleeping for that. Sancho, one touch pass for that assist, one touch, knocks it in behind, continues his run, but all that time Jackson's just carrying it. That's one of Jackson's better finishes. Yeah, Lionel, he's been alright. He's been alright. Like, he's not he hasn't scored yet, but he's been a threat, and I think that's what's important is that when you've got the quality of Sancho and you've got the quality of Madueke and you've got Cole Palmer, is that they're not always gonna be on the ball. You know, like sometimes it will go out to the left. Madueke's not gonna get on the ball. But it's about not losing confidence, being patient, knowing that your opportunity is gonna come. Madueke's had 2 for me that strike me as good moments. He had one where the ball finally came out to him when it had been dominated on the left-hand side. Sancho, Jackson, Enzo Fernandez, they've all had the ball out on the left. Madueke finally gets out on the right, cuts inside, shoots. It's just wide. It's not a bad shot at all. And then again, it goes out to Madueke to change it up, beats his man from Levi Colwell diag, flicks it past with a clever little um, back heel touch, crosses it on his right foot straight away. No one's in the box, you know? So it's about him looking lively defensively. I think that's the best I've seen Chelsea look so far because at times West Ham have still got through. And Kudus is a player that's at a level of like some of the best in the Prem. They're going to be good enough to work opportunities, but we're dealing with it. They've had a goal disallowed for offside because our our line was very good. Set pieces, we've kind of dealt with it. We had one really scrappy moment, but actually, I think defensively, in the moments where we've needed to, we've applied ourselves well to the duels. We've barely been beaten in the air, from what I can think of. Levi has been very, very good on the ball as well. I think recovery has been probably the best thing I've seen today. At times when we've been beaten, we're not letting it go. We're straight away on our bike, make the recovery, make the foul if it's needed. We've seen it with Cucurella. We've seen it with Casado, Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana on the right, it just needs to go unnoticed today. Don't bring he's got booked, which is a bit silly, 'cause I don't even think it was for a foul, I'm not sure. But just go unnoticed. We don't expect you to do loads going forwards. Do a job defensively and just help us navigate this game because we don't have our best right back there and available today. We don't have our second best right back available. Disasi, you notice Disasi because he can't play there. So let's not notice Fofana today. No mistakes, no silly issues. Yes, there's a booking, which is slightly concerning, but I would say let's just try and keep that very, very simple on that right-hand side because we're causing West Ham a lot of issues down the left. We can kind of keep the ball away from Fofana. But I will say that uh, Casado he's been really, really good today. Really good. He looks like the type of player that I'd expect to see. Enzo Fernandez, for the price tag I'm sort of suggesting and the hype, Enzo's still not there. Couple of moments, it's just been really sloppy. Give the ball away in areas that I think better teams punish us, and that's worrying that it's still happening with Enzo. I personally think we look like a better team without Enzo on the evidence that you've seen. But today, because of how the midfield is set up, he's almost being allowed to make these mistakes because there's cover. But he's making these mistakes, but it's not like he was risking something unbelievably difficult. The mistake happens on something quite simple. If he's risking a really difficult pass and it gets intercepted, I'll be like, all right, well, at least you were trying to make something happen. If we'd have been rewarded for that action, it probably would have ended up in a goal or a shot on target and a big chance. But when it's a 5-yard pass with the outside of his boot that just could be knocked with his side foot, that's silly for me. And I just wonder why Enzo does that. And if that could be coached out of him and he just simplifies some things down, and then in the moments where that little bit of spice is needed that he offers sometimes, bring it back. But that might be more difficult to do than not. I just don't think I'm seeing like enough from him, whereas I'm seeing Casado having a really good game and look like the player we thought we were getting. Uh, yeah, really good half actually. I was just thinking back to when Mikel called out Jackson. He probably feels like, you know what? At least Jackson's scoring, yeah. But Mikel probably feels like an idiot, and he's been made to look a bit stupid this summer. Mikel, he really has. Um, yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts because you're saying Enzo's so weak. He is a bit. He's been. Look, I just think Enzo is not. He's just not up for the Prem. I just don't think he is. I don't. Look, I'll give him credit. Some of his stuff today has been a lot better than what we've seen, but right now I'm just not seeing it. But there's moments where he's working really hard, and he's got to. Enzo's going to have to work so hard because of his lack of physical attributes that bless some people in the Prem. You know, like Casado finds it a lot easier to get around a Premier League midfield than Enzo. He definitely does. Cucurella is also looking like he finds it a lot easier. There's a lot of work goes into Enzo getting around that midfield. And he looks wrecked for it sometimes. And sometimes it looks like his legs don't have enough in them to play the pass. But I don't want to slate him. I'm just saying that actually that's probably one of the only real issues that we've seen. But he's had a better game today than what we've seen him have as well. Midfields look better today. We've said this before with Enzo, is that when there's when there's a midfield around him, right? When there's a midfield around him, he looks better because he's being carried, and it looks like he can get away with stuff. But at the same time, what if you could put a different player in that role, would they add more to the team? That's what you got to wonder, because there's moments when Enzo is in really good positions and he just doesn't do enough with it. Jack or he gets bullied off the ball because Jackson scored more non-penalty goals since last season. Yeah, look, we can't deny it. Jackson has been better than we ever thought. Better than we ever thought for most of us. I don't think he had a good preseason, didn't he? But numbers wise, he's very, very good. I think he's gonna have to go in my fantasy team. I think he is. Um, when he scores when he scores goals like he has today as well, he's so clinical. You don't need to be silly about penalties. He doesn't need to be silly about that. Really good, like really, really good performance from Jacko today. And I actually said against Bournemouth that some people were really harsh. Some people were saying like he just didn't look good. I thought his off the ball running was okay. I thought he was trying to do the right things. And I think that's always the thing is that if a striker's trying to do the right things, you can get behind it. And I think that's why Chelsea fans, we got behind Werner. Right, second half's about to start. 2-0. I think they've been moaning about the penalty all of half time. Uh, no changes. I would like to see Neto on the right today. Yeah, look, if Neto comes on, I think we experiment with that. I think we do. We got midweek as obviously as well. So let's rotate. Why not? Why not? But yeah, Sancho's such an upgrade on Misha. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, he is. He is. Imagine if he had Mudrik's pace. Oh my gosh. Be unbelievable. Although sometimes I think you can be too quick and you get to spaces, the space closes before you've even had time to assess what you might do with the ball. That's sometimes what I wonder happens with Mudryk. Okay, right, good half. Let's hope for very similar in the second. West Ham starting well. Kudos, 1-on-1 with Kooks. Oh, good link up. Here we go. Jackson, halfway line, driving against Keelman. Nonny, he's gone Palmer. Shoot, Cole. Goal! Yes! Come on, Cole Palmer. Jackson assist. What a start. 46 minutes. Chelsea are 3-0 up. It's getting cold in the London Stadium. Oh my gosh. Honestly, West Ham go forward with intent, lose possession. We get a Casado, I think, gets fouled, but just releases the ball in time. Jackson flying through. Nonny is in so much space. I'm thinking that's the pass. He goes out to Cole Palmer on his left. Cole Palmer finishes it unbelievably well off the post and in. Chelsea in transition look frightening. Time and time again, I've said this season, this is where, and I said it all last season as well, this is where we look unbelievable. We look so good in transition. Cole Palmer's run for this goal is crazy. Starts off on the right of Jackson, ends up on his left, touch, bang, what a finish off the post and in with his instep. Oh, I love that goal. Jackson, let's give him credit. That is unbelievable, unselfish forward play there. And what a haters. I can't hear you. All them people telling me about Cole Palmer. You don't lose your quality, mate. You just move up levels. It all gets tough when you're that good. He's leveling up. Come on. That's what happens. A young player that breaks into the scene like that, they get tested. And they get tested time and time again. And look at what Cole Palmer did. Every time he got tested last season, he got better. And a little bit of confidence back in those legs. My gosh, we might start to see it. Oh, that's a dirty foul. Oh my gosh. Please get up. Oh my gosh, that is disgusting foul. That's a disgusting foul from Edson Alvarez. That is a disgusting foul. No, that is dirty. I honestly think I I would say that could be a red card now in football. The way the game's changed, that for me is a disgusting tackle. There's no intent to win the ball. His foot is in a dangerous place. He's fuming that Cole Palmer's just scored. It's only intent to be dirty in that challenge. Disgusting. We see red cards for such minimal things in football now. That type of challenge has, on the whole, pretty much disappeared. It's a challenge that I think comes from Spanish and South American football, Central American football. We don't see that so much anymore. That is that moment. That's the dark arts. That's Simeone side make that type of challenge. That for me is disgusting and shouldn't be in the game with the way the game's gone anymore. Back in the day when that was acceptable, okay, but that's the type of foul that's only there to hurt. Let's see what you guys have been saying. Sorry, guys, I saw a load of you typing at the same time. I was getting annoyed at that. Cole Palmer, he's obviously worth over 100 mil, definitely. West Ham manager. Oh, was this West Ham manager? Probably. He's getting very angry today. What do you have to say about Jackson's first half display? Do you think he can get a third goal during the second half? He could do. He could do. With the way we're playing, he definitely could do. Last time Chelsea won away at West Ham was 2017. This is what I was telling people. This is a difficult fixture to navigate, by the way. People were telling me, oh, comfortable Chelsea win, blah, 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 blah. It's turned into that. Do not get me wrong. But when I looked at the record of us going away to Upton Park, we've struggled. It's been really tough. And I did say that it could be a difficult one to navigate. And I think I said 2-1. I'll be honest, I didn't think West Ham would be this bad. And I think for me, West Ham fans are already Lopetegui out. I think they will be. I'd love to speak to some next week, but this is bad. This is really bad. They just don't look like a threat. They look better under Moyes. This is what happens with West Ham, innit? They get a little bit cocky. They get a bit carried out of themselves. They forget their place. They won a couple of trophies, good trophies, don't get me wrong, and a couple of finals or whatever. One trophy, I think, sorry. Good save, Sanchez. And then they start thinking they deserve better. Just know your place and be happy with it and be content because you've been relegated more times than you won trophies in my lifetime. It's just crazy. Madueke in transition. Cole Palmer through the middle of the pitch. It's a really poor pass from Madueke. Cole Palmer had the whole final third in front of him. It had opened up. The waves had parted, and Madueke chooses a pass that is incredibly difficult to Jackson. Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer on the. Oh, Cole Palmer's picking up positions now that are threatening. He really is. Cole Palmer there's just something in his step now. You can just see it. West Ham, Dan, have been really bad. Yeah, really, really bad. I think if Lopetegui is sacked after this game, I don't think I'd be surprised. I actually wouldn't. Considering when we look at the record that West Ham have had against Chelsea and derbies, this is like what they're playing long ball, mate. This is woeful. They're making the game boring. Antonio's going to come on. Chelsea's challenge now is that we keep Carlos Soler. Chelsea's challenge now, by the way, is that we keep a clean sheet. It has to be. Has to be because I've said this before as a Chelsea fan. I'm not seeing a clear and obvious way of Lopetegui trying to get this technical side that they've now established at West Ham to play football. I'm not seeing it. They're trying to. It's a long ball out to a winger isolated on a 1v1. It's just hopeful. Although Fofana's giving it away there. Paqueta's going to score this. Casado has been unbelievable. He's been so, so good. So good. Cole Palmer's getting a bit fed up here, and this is where we're going to have to see because this is what will happen. But he will be on the end of fouls and late challenges and dirty challenges because he's that good now. Look at Hazard, look at Neymar, look at Grealish. They become the most fouled players. Yeah, Cole Palmer's got to win. Yeah, Edson Alvarez going off. Get off the pitch, mate. You don't deserve to be on the pitch. Dirty player, mate. Boo! Get off. Who's come off? Somerville as well? Not sure. Antonio's so wedged, mate. His collar doesn't even get round his neck. He's literally had to cut it. He's had to make it into a V-neck, man. Oh my gosh. We've gone long here from Sanchez. Gilman deals with it. Keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on, Jackson. Oh, Areola slips. I don't know whether he slipped or like just a slice of the ball off of his head. It just didn't go where my eyes looked. I just thought he was going to head that away and then ball's behind him. The counter attacking again. Carlos Soler, deflection away from Tosin because Antonio was there for that, you know. Sanchez was beat. He was almost in no man's land. Cucurella wins that. This is Chelsea are just letting West Ham get through a little bit easily there. Enzo, Cole Palmer, looking for Jackson. He just doesn't want to run it. He just knew he didn't have the beating of him there. Gusto back for next game. That'd be good. I would like to see Gusto back because I feel like that right hand side is slightly limited at the moment with Fofana there. But look, if we live with that and we deal with that, it's okay this game. You know, we just cope on the right hand side because it's not the end of the world. We're causing West Ham a lot of issues through the middle and centrally on the left. Sorry, and centrally. So Fofana wins his header there. We'll live with it. Madueke. Here we go. Madueke in transition. Cole Palmer and Jackson up with him. It's a poor pass from Madueke. Look, 55 minutes, 3-0 up. Do we think about Neto? You know, just give Neto a game on the right. Only thing with Neto is I'm so worried about him getting injured. Sanchez comes out of his head. He's a live wire, this bloke. I don't like seeing my keeper do that. Who's coming on? Dazassi and Neto. There we go. I think right-hand side changes, don't you? I think that's what it'll be. Couple of subs, Dazassi and Neto. I think Neto for Noni would be interesting, but it might be Sancho. I think Sancho. I think Sancho will come off. Is it Madueke? Fofana, yeah. Okay, good. Manage them. Manage them. Fofana's playing out of position. He's on a yellow. Let's bring him off. Sancho's coming off. Yeah. Yeah. Let's bring in Kunku on then. Go on. Let's bring in Kunku on for number 10. Cole Palmer go out to the right. That would be all right. Sancho's had a good game. You know, a good game. Got an assist. Put up a number. Is exciting. Looks better than Madrid. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Ed Barley and Bowley are sat next to each other. What's happened here? They made up, have they? It was Todd's birthday yesterday. Oh right. So what? They went to the same party together. Tosin, Cucurella still inverted. Dazassi right back. Oh, Dazassi right back, man. Yeah, look, it's all we can do, isn't it? But this is why, like, is Ashimpong on the bench? I can't remember the bench, but I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Because if he was on the bench, I think you'd bring him on. Like 3-0 and under, like we know this Dazassi experiment at right back just isn't really working. So Neto's gone out to the left. Uh, it looks the same, to be honest with you. It just looks exactly the same, just Neto out on the left. Paqueta breaks the line. Oh no, Soler breaks the lines. Casado wins it back. But then this is where I've expected West Ham to look better on their retaining possession when they've lost it going forwards. They've just not done that very well at all today. Wan-Bissaka crosses. Kudos gets it back. Oh my gosh. Sanchez was behind his line. If a shot had come in, it was in. Oh, Casado, unlucky. 15, Mavropanos shoots. Oh my gosh. Soler shoots. Save. Let's bring the level down. Just getting a little bit crazy on the edge of our box at the time. He's not. He smashed it. Jackson, I see what he's trying to do, but Just bring the level down. Like, just try and keep the clean sheet. Baffles me. We don't need this game to be end to end. Uh, like, yeah, I see what you mean, Dan. At times, but at times I think they've caused issues. Caused issues. But I can see what Sanchez is trying to do there. He's obviously that's what Edison is doing. You know, at Man City, plays that ball to Haaland, and it's a goal. And I definitely think there's something to be said about that. But in that exact moment, I don't think that's it. Although if you score, you probably do kill the game. You probably do. Hour gone, 3-0. West Ham they're not giving up, West Ham. They're trying to play here. Chelsea aren't in the ascendancy of possession at the moment. Wan-Bissaka out on the right, looks to beat Neto, will beat Neto, beats him again, cutting back, crosses, left-footed, Disasi away. I don't look, Dan, I'll be honest with you with Reece is I basically don't include Reece as, like, part of the squad in my head. I don't expect him to play ever. If 5 times a season Reece James plays and it means we win the game, it's an absolute bonus, but it's for me, Reece James is like that trump card you get every now and then. Gusto is Chelsea's main right back because he's the only player that's been able to play a few games, and even then he struggled with injuries. But I see this Chelsea side with Gusto at right back now. That's how I view it. I just haven't seen Reece enough in recent years. It's like a trump card. I just don't view him as like part of the squad. 9 times out of 10, Reece James isn't playing for this team with these players. Jackson shoots, but he like gets in the way of Madueke. I think he's injured Madueke. What happened there? Oh my god. The way we transition and get numbers forward and the pace that we do it at, we are frightening. Why anyone would question this being a correct way to play football is beyond me. What Okay, don't get me wrong, that second goal is great, but being able to do both arms you. It gives you an extra tool in your box. Do not try to remove how brutal we've been in transition for the last season and a half or season and a bit now, because I've said it every time. When the game's open, this Chelsea side, full of individuals, look like anything can happen. They look electric and they move forward with intensity. Don't remove that. I think Maresca is probably learning that that is something you need to keep in this side. I agree. I agree. But actually, the way things have been the last couple of seasons, that there's no guarantee of who that'll be. I'll be honest with you right now. I think Levi Colwell, if he carries on, like he's had a really good performance today, I think he's going to be Chelsea's captain. Got a feeling. This is a really good, like, all right. He's got a season or two to go, I think. But there's a leader in him. I think there is. There's a leader who needs to grow up and mature in certain situations because we've seen Levi lose his head a couple of times. But if he can do that, I think there's a leader there. Catch the ball, Sanchez. Neto doesn't do very well there, although they're on the break again. Palmer, Madueke, Neto. Neto, do not pull a hammy. He's up there with him, though. Madueke's going to shoot. Saved. This, roles reverse. Madueke's out on the left in a similar position to where Palmer was. Is Madueke injured? He's been a little bit like he's grimace, is that the right word? A couple of times. I don't know. He's coming off and Kunku and Felix. Oh, this is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. Jacko's gonna go off. Round of applause because we are 3-0 up. 60 minutes gone. Jackson's got 2 goals and assists. Fantastic again, numbers wise. Great off the ball and on the ball. Really good game from Jackson. And then we're able to bring on Nkunku and Felix. I think Palmer might come off here as well. Yeah, Cole Palmer's going to go off as well. Is it? I'd rather he didn't. I'd rather Cole Palmer stay on, mate. I'd rather Cole Palmer stay on. I don't think Cole Palmer should be coming off there. I just don't think he should. He's actually not happy either. He's like, and Kunku, so Palmer and Jackson off, job done is what they're saying. Mate, our squad depth is a joke, isn't it? Being able to bring on Nkunku, Felix, um, Neto, and Disasi. Obviously, Disasi's not great, but if Disasi was coming off the bench as my centre back, I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't be like, oh, God's sake. At right back, I am a bit. Enzo Fernandez still on the pitch, which kind of baffles me. Madueke's still on the pitch, which is, I don't know. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm just trying to work out what's going on here with the attack. I think Nkunku's gone up front as a number 9. Felix has remained as the 10. Madueke's probably had the quietest game out of everyone that's come off, and he's just missed an opportunity there. And he kind of grimaced like when Enzo. Oh, we've got a free kick there, but he's just been manhandled. He kind of. Let's just see. Maybe he's trying to get him a goal. Don't know. I thought he might have come off then, to be honest. Just leave Cole Palmer out because Cole Palmer's the real player. Like Madueke for the last few games now, since Wolves, he hasn't done much, like in terms of numbers and actually having a real end product. He's been okay. So maybe he's just trying to let him have that. All the others have got something from today, haven't they? Um, I'm seeing people say that Enzo's been really good today. I'm not sure about that. I don't think he's been really good. I think we have to remember the levels. Neto pulling away. Madueke's open here at the back post. He's turned around. And Kunku, Enzo, great little pass. It's tied netting. That was a good little pass from Enzo. Good little pass. I think we have to remember the levels. I think Casado has been very good today. He's been like really good. I think that is the level, that's the level of that type of player coming in for that type of money. That has to have that sort of effect on the team. I don't think Enzo Fernandez has been at that level. I don't think he has. I think he's been, but Enzo, I think it's an okay performance because, well, actually, I think for Enzo and what we've seen, it's probably a good performance, but ultimately, I don't think it's anything drastic to what most Premier League midfielders are capable of doing. And Kunku's in here. Felix! Oh, Joe! I'm not sure what you're trying to do. Oh, and Kunku's just so silky on the ball. Casado would deserve a goal, wouldn't he? Unlucky there. Mate, I feel like it's the 80th minute of this game and it's the 66th. We could get another goal, uh, at least. I would say Nkunku or João Felix could definitely get themselves a goal here. Lavia back in midfield. I probably would think about it. I would think about Enzo, but I think Enzo's going to be in this team. I think he is. I can't Fernandez with a captain's armband on there. Is he captain? Oh, it is on. It's just yeah. Neto corner straight to the keeps. What is that? That's a poor corner. Not really sure what we tried to do there. Enzo gets the ball back down. Neto out on the right hand side for now. Corner again. Corner again. Right. Second chance. Let's see, Neto. The first one was confusing. Um, Camera's just on M. I'm just trying to see how we're setting up. Right. Short corner. Out to Casado. Enzo Fernandez took it short. Back out to Neto to cross. Uh, Neto 1-on-1. Crosses. It's very slow. Just Fernandez puts it straight. No, it's João Felix actually. Put it straight back in. Just very slow. Like short corner, then he sat on the ball for ages. Then he worked it. The cross is floated in. It's all just a bit slow. I don't understand why you would put a cross in with that lack of intent, lack of power, lack of pace on the delivery. And I just think if you make things happen fast, it becomes incredibly harder to react against. And in that moment, that's just not what happened. Kudos, Casado battling it out. Kudos gets the better of him. Crosses, Sanchez catches. Good man. Come on. That's it. Yeah, he's slowing it down now. Let Antonio come past you as well. Perfect. Cresswell, Cresswell, and I can't see who that is. I genuinely don't know who that is. They're number 3 coming on. Don't know who that is. There's going to be West Ham fans calling for the sack. If you go on TalkSport after this, there's going to be West Ham fans calling for the sack. I can tell you that right now. Definitely. Catch, big catch. Sanchez, love that. We're on the counter attack again. João Felix out to Neto. The 4 go forward and Kunku in a diamond at the top. Madueke on the right. Neto to cross corner. That is so fluid when that breaks, isn't it? It just goes forward with such intent. I was talking about the pace earlier. No matter how you change it up, you bring on the 2 Portuguese, it's looking silky. I think those 2 Portuguese in Felix and Neto could absolutely rip it up. Uh, Absolutely rip it up. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right, Dan. Don't want to see players being rushed back. I agree. We've done that too much. The corners are interesting me here because we're doing Enzo Fernandez has gone over it to this time. Neto went short. He said no. No players. Because hang on, Noni. Oh, Noni, just swing with your right, mate. Kukurea. Oh my gosh, it's late. What is he doing? He was miles away. Miles away. Honestly. That's not a good tackle. That is not a good tackle. As soon as he goes in for a challenge like that, he puts himself in a position where the referee has to make a decision and he's booked. But ultimately, if you catch him with your foot in the wrong position or something, you could be off there. I understand he's in a difficult position because you don't want Kudus breaking through. But at the same time, that's not the way you do it, I think. I think you could probably bring him down there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, he's not been sent off and he stopped Kudus on the counter attack. He's fighting for his clean sheet there, Cucurella. Paqueta's coming off. I don't know who is coming on. I just don't recognise his face at all. I have no idea who's coming on for West Ham there. I've never seen him before. And Aaron Cresswell. Yeah, but why not? If he's fit, he can be on the bench, that's for sure. Where's he? Where's that? He's gone in midfield. I don't know who that is. Ir Irving. At he shoots. Andy Irving from Germ my gosh. What that is I have no idea who this guy is. What? That is an outrageous Scottish footballer, 24, looks about 30, looks like a proper football journeyman. Hearts, Berwick Rangers, Falkirk, Takuchuchu Munchen. Oh, Antonio. Austria Klagenfurt, West Ham. Austria Klagenfurt. What position do you play? 2000. Can't believe he's born in 2000, boys. He looks small. Uh, Oi, what a career! That's an outrageous career. Scottish under 21 international as well, 1 cap. Bought him, loaned him back out. That is nuts. Premier League debut. Fair play. Madueke out on the right-hand side. Honestly, that is I love signing. I love football when you get this sort of thing. Irving was sold to West Ham on transfer deadline day in 23, then loaned back to Klagenfurt, despite neither club transfer confirmed the transfer December 23. Interesting. It doesn't say what position. Just as midfielder, 5'10". That is just great. I love signings. I love signings like that. I love stories like that. Careers like that on Wikipedia. That no one knew that bloke was. I haven't heard a West Ham fan mention that name to me once. Whips it. Head that again. Casado's been there like every single time. Neto down on the right side, chops it back. Nah, goes into about 3 men in the end. Casado to cross it though. Colwell, goal! Nkunku! Oh my gosh, good save from Areola. Levi Colwell, back post, knocks it across the face of the goal. Nkunku heads it. Areola saves. Good save. João Phillips. Back out to Casado as well. Good cross then, actually. Chelsea fans trying to do a lay, but I don't know if that was one of those moments. Andre Santos comes back next season. Don't get the Dewsbury Hall signing. Would have kept. Yeah, honestly, Dewsbury Hall's looking like he's fine. Dewsbury Hall's good for Barrow. Good for that Premier League game after Europe. Good for good save, Areola. Good save. Good for trying to think. Who's the other? I can't think. I'm trying to think of the other player. Ah, can't remember. It's gone blank. Yeah, I'd agree. I think, Casado's my man of the match. Oh, sorry, good for Conference League and stuff like that, Dewsbury Hall. A random one, I agree. It just feels like such a waste, like, really does. Yeah, I was gonna say, Souček's just been booked there, and I don't think has he been booked? I don't think he touched Enzo. Oh, I'm not surprised they're walking. Honestly, if I hear people calling for him out now, I'm not gonna be, "Oh, that's a late one on Felix." Come on, Kilman. That's they're getting a little bit dirty here. They don't need to do that. They've not played well. They've got a manager. It must be frustrating, but let's not do that. It's ridiculous. Uh, No, I wouldn't start Cole Palmer in that game. If he does, fair enough, but I wouldn't. I would rest him. Yeah, I would definitely rest him. Madueke, Zabal, deep down by the corner flag. Do you know what? Considering we brought on all these changes and it was like 10, 15 minutes ago, I just feel like by now there should have been a little bit more impact on the game. I actually feel like Chelsea are looking less likely to score now than they were when everyone was on the pitch. If that makes sense. That is really lighting up my face. I can see that. That has done nothing. Brilliant. It's just got really bright all of a sudden outside. So cross again from the corner. Not seeing any mismatches, but Dazassi gets up, doesn't quite win it. Madueke to try and win it, ends up turning on it midair, hits his back. West Ham just smash it out. See what West Ham did then? Smash it straight out of play. That's better than what Chelsea did earlier, where they let it like bobble around on their box. That's what you want to see. Wow, those West Ham fans look very miserable. Madueke out on the right, back out to Felix. Felix is trying to make things happen. We know how good he can look. Bowen dispossesses Cooks. Kudus out on the left against Azasi. Cresswell gets around him. They probably looked at this Dazassi one and gone, let's try Kudus up against him. Why not? Wan-Bissaka is sort of providing West Ham the width out on the right. Soucek out to Wan-Bissaka. I'm just looking at how Chelsea are set up. It's like, honestly, the game when we played against Palace was just wonderful. This is much better. The only thing I'd say is we are dropping a little bit deep at times. Like, we're going further back than we need to. I just think keep your line there, Colwell. Like, it's hard to say. He's on his 6-yard box and he keeps going inside it. I think keep your line there. I wouldn't be dropping much more because it just makes it incredibly difficult for us to get back out if we make that a habit against better teams. West Ham haven't been too good at keeping us controlled, but the higher up you can start on a counter attack, the better, I'd say. Bowen plays it out to Wan-Bissaka. We're having a little spell here. Crosses it. Antonio, flat tap by Sanchez, just about reaches it. Would much rather see a catch. No one's there from Chelsea, which is where is Madueke's out here? We're 1, 2, 3, 6 across the back. Goal. Suchek and Bowen missed that. I can't believe that. Cresswell gets the ball, whips it. Actually, I think they're both offside, but they both don't even get a touch. I'm just gonna try and change the it's very bright. I know that. I can that'll do. Yeah, very bright. I'm just trying to bring the lighting down a bit. Yeah, we don't look as exciting going forward. I feel like we've just been nursing it a bit. Like, it's the 80th minute now. We could have easily had another goal, and we're just kind of getting through it. Like Enzo Fernandez since the subs has done nothing. Like, he really hasn't. People, like, you have to have an effect on the game for a long period of time. Like, you can't just disappear out of a game like this when you're playing in a central role like that. Madueke turns around, gives it back to Dizassi. Tosin, come on. Felix gets it down. Come on, make something exciting happen because we scored in the 45th minute. Like, make something exciting happen, Chelsea. Dewsbury Hall's warming up. I think Enzo comes off here because ultimately, like, there's nothing going on through the central area. Oh, that's late from Antonio and Casado. That's a red. That's a red. See, these are dirty challenges. Like, they're disgusting. The ball's gone. That's a disgusting challenge. I'm not having that. I don't like that. But what it is an education for the youngsters because now they learn that these players, they're gonna absolutely crunch you when they're not happy and they're frustrated and they're sad that they're losing. Uh, Damn, because we are 3-0 up, but we could be more. the best teams are relentless. And actually, if you're looking at this exact moment on the pitch, Chelsea are not as good as what they looked like just before. Fair play to Maresca. Maybe he's stopping these mid teams from playing. Bobby, I think West Ham look poor. I think they do because Bournemouth played. Bournemouth played against us, and I would say they're mid-table. I think this West Ham team look poor, but since the subs, I don't think Chelsea have looked as exciting. So the subs, that's not Maresca's fault. Actually, I'll say I just think the subs need to bring it up. That's why they're not starting, probably, isn't it? They're probably not at that level. But I think when we've scored we're basically 1-0 up this half so early on. I would like to see another goal because I think West Ham have been there to put 5 past today. I think Nkunku got really unlucky with how good Areola's save was, but for the last half hour, I just don't think we've really tested West Ham enough considering how poor they've been. We've let him have quite a bit of the ball and sat in defensively. Maybe he just wants to use it as practice on our defensive shape because he's doing quite a lot on the sideline as instructions. I agree. I agree. I think Chelsea should have got to wipe the floor. Don't like West Ham. I wanna win London derbies by as many goals as possible. Like, if West Ham fans leave the ground crying, I wouldn't care because they wouldn't care if they beat us by as many goals as well. Don't just stop and let them have it. Do not concede either. Antonio's in a good position here, touches his hands. Wan-Bissaka, back out, cross by Souček, it's scruffy and away. Let's away. I think Casado's had a really good game, and he's obviously been on the pitch for the longest amount of time. We've got to keep that. We've got what? The best part of 10 minutes to try and keep the clean sheet. We've got to go for that. A 3-0 win is obviously lovely, don't get me wrong. Giving the ball away there. Well done. Tosin did really well then. He's not a bad player, this Irving that's come on for West Ham. He's just keeping it ticking. He's actually quite a good player. Who's been the worst player on the pitch for Chelsea? What do you mean in general? I think it was Rodriguez. I think he got dragged. Rodriguez probably had the worst game for West Ham. I think. I don't think anyone for Chelsea's been really, really bad. I think that'd be so harsh. Um, Casado, that just leaving some feet in there. Like, just let's not get any injuries, please. But I think he's looked okay, hasn't he? I agree. Look, I gave him a bit of stick, but I think he's looked okay. I think he has. Yeah, I'd agree, by the way. I think if they keep this bloke in charge, they'll be wishing for David Moyes to save them. Um, yeah, I think Tosin's had a good game. I would just say I don't think Fofana Fofana's gonna be in the team, isn't he? I think if a right back's fit. And I think Tosin and Disasi would miss out. But yeah, I think he's been okay. Dewsbury Hall striding through. Giving the ball away. It's just a little bit sloppy. And that's where I think to be 3-0 up that fast, to be that comfortable when we made the changes, to be that excited about the players that have come on, the fact that Neto really has done nothing, like he's done nothing. Dewsbury Hall has just come on. João Felix has probably been the most exciting, and then Nkunku. uh, If we're talking about levels of excitement, it doesn't really move the needle. Madueke is still out there. I just think that is a front four that I would like to see more from. I don't think they've done it. I would expect a goal from those players that are out on the pitch. I think Maresca would have expected a goal from the players that he was putting on. I mean, they don't have to. We're in a position where we don't have to, but that's not how I would want my team to play. Yeah, I think Nkunku starts League Cup, if not Mark Gu. I think Felix probably starts. I think Dewsbury Hall starts. Neto, I'm not sure about, only because of injuries. Um, Yeah, I'm not sure. Defensively, I think Disasi probably starts. I think Badashile probably starts. Yeah, just be a bit of rotation probably. But I do think he's doing a better job of managing players and their injuries than Pochettino did last year. I have to say that. I think he's aware of players that have got injuries and he just and players that have been overused and he's just protecting them. And I think that's really smart. I have to say, like that's what I want to see from a manager because they have that control. And I think some managers don't care. It tells me that Maresca expects to be here for a while and he wants to look after these players because he wants them to be there for the duration of his stay. Uh, yeah, it's just kind of like fizzled out a bit, which is a bit of a shame because it was such an exciting game. But I would say the last sort of 20 minutes, like Mudryk will play. Obviously, he sat there, looks so upset he's not playing. But for me, um, Mudryk has not done enough. The fact that although although what I will say this is that Mud Mudryk's probably done more than Pedro Neto for Chelsea in terms of this season as well, I would think. Maybe. Hard to know, actually. Has he got an assist this season? I don't know. But from what I've seen from Mudryk, he's probably done more than Neto. He's very frustrating, Mudryk, because we all know he could be better than what he is. But actually, when you look at it, Neto's done sweet FA for Chelsea. Next week against Brighton, yeah. I think Brighton is another tough one. Mudryk's laughing. Um, Mate, Dewsbury Hall, shit. This bloke's shit. He's poor. He's just by the way, if you're not watching, he's just passed the ball out of play to no one, under no pressure. He's poor. Come on, Chelsea, just see this through. Look, I know I want more from this Chelsea team, of course, and I would have liked another goal, but a 3-0 win away at West Ham, navigated it very well. I'll take that. Of course, I want more, and the teams of Chelsea and yesteryear do absolutely take advantage of this. And like they used to put 6 past Arsenal when they didn't turn up for a London derby. So that's what I expect. Dewsbury Hall can't get the ball under control again. João Felix out to the left. Neto, he's not sprinting very quick, which worries me as his hamstring gone tight. He's actually oh my gosh, he's not injured, is he? Just they're just seeing this game out, you know. They don't want to over the Cole. No, 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 no. Kukurea. Oh my gosh, that could be a red card there. Kukurea never needed to slide in there. Never needed to slide in. I think Saleh's left a foot in as well. Oh, that's dirty, mate. Oh, that's not a challenge that's needed in the 92nd minute. I don't think they'll send him off. But we've seen players get. I think Gary Cahill got a red card for that before a few years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if VAR are checking that. I hope we don't, but no, I think that's what they're doing. I think Maresca's doing a very good job. Another clean sheet would be very nice. 2 away from home would be great. Um, Neto, N Kuntz, Felix. Uh, I feel like Neto don't look like he fancies it. He's barely tracking back. I bet he's injured. Bet he's injured. Imagine Net he either doesn't want to get injured for the game that's done, and he's just managing it, but he kudos to shoot, good block there from Tosin. He just doesn't look like he can run, Neto. Considering how quick this bloke is, he just doesn't look like he can run. He's gonna go here though. Explodes into life, crosses. Shrewsbury Hall, Felix shoot. Oh, that's better. That's like I know it's late and that'll be it now, but that's what I wanted to see for the last half hour. Neto just looked like he couldn't run and then just burst into life. I was thinking, I just don't want him to be injured. This guy's had so many injuries. I just don't want it. Just don't want it. Full time. Get in. Come on. What a win. Good win. Come on. I'm happy with that. I am over the moon. Chelsea win 3-0 away at West Ham. It's 2 away games in a row. They're the type of games that build a squad up. You know, they're hugging each other, camaraderie there. I agree. Away win against West Ham, it hasn't happened in a few years, I don't think. I feel like it hasn't anyway. That's a good win. That's a good win. Yes, I obviously wanted more, but I'm gonna do that as a Chelsea fan because I don't like West Ham and I want 5, I want 6. I mean, I feel like we could have had that, but Maresca got it right. We played good football. We looked brutal in transition. Defensively, a clean sheet, some very good performances there defensively. Tosin and Levi Colwell look very good. Casado for me is man of the match. That is as good a performance as I think you're going to get from Casado. That's the level. He plays like that every game. He's one of the best midfielders in the league. That's a 10 out of 10 performance for me. I think Enzo had an okay game, probably a good game for him. We're on 10 points. That's 10 out of a possible 50. Yeah, no, yeah, 15. That's okay, isn't it? That's okay. All right, it's not great. Look, Noni weren't bad. Noni just wasn't at the level that he was at against Wolves. And I think he got what against Wolves was so good. We've just seen a little bit of a decline. And I think that's where there's obviously opportunities, I think, for Nkunku or Felix to get in instead of Palmer. But Noni is always an outlet, and anything could happen with Madueke, and I like that. And it's up to Noni to make sure that he's effective in every game that he's given the chance to play in. But he didn't have a bad game today. I'm not going to get on his back. I don't think he had a bad game, and I actually don't think he was as wasteful as I've seen him be in other games. Um, I think Cole Palmer obviously got his goal, which I'm really happy about. Yeah, at times he was quiet, but I think he got his goal, and then he was brought off to protect him. Yeah, he is. He is, but some of the best are. I hope Arsenal lose tomorrow. So oh my gosh, imagine. Look, 10 points, very good. Nicholas Jackson, unbelievable today. The 2 of those goals, fantastic. 2 of those goals, absolutely fantastic. Bring that down a bit. Oh, right, it's just killing me. Yeah, look, I have to say, I can't really say anyone today. I can't really. I think very, very good. That's what I want to see. I wish I was there actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at it now. I'm thinking, you know what? Fair enough. Yeah. I say what 5 games, and we've finally seen some football that I expect Maresca to implement on this team. Okay, I can, Bobby. I will, mate. I really appreciate you letting me know that. Actually, I didn't realise that was a thing, so appreciate that. Up the Chelsea, win for us, 3-0. Cole Palmer is, yeah, like that's the guy now that I'm looking at to Cole Palmer is like the one I feel a connect when I look at that team, that's the player I feel a connection with. That's the player. I look at him and I think Casado as well. He's had a really good game today. Bobby, I appreciate that, mate. I try. Watch alongs are like new for me, and I just try and say what I see, but really appreciate that. It helped me out a lot. Yeah, unbelievable. What great win for Chelsea, great win. What the one thing I'll say is, away from home, these players seem to connect with the fans really well. I was there a few away games last season. There's a different atmosphere. I feel like at the Bridge, it's a bit more hostile, and I think at the Bridge, there's people there that are I don't think they're Chelsea, if I'm being honest with you, and that, for me, is where I think it needs to be worked on. Cole Palmer interview, see what he says. Very good 3 points. Jackson's just gonna talk through his goal, see what he says, because his finishing was quality today. Yeah. His celebration's great, actually, to be fair, I'll give him that. Yeah, look, he's smiling, he's scoring goals, he's getting assists, it's you know what? Feels better than last season under Poch, doesn't it, I think? I feel like we know him a little bit more, but at the same time, I just feel like there's been some moments, obviously, and I think there will be with this team, and we've said it'll be a rollercoaster. There'll be some really good highs and some lows that will be difficult to take, but I think it feels a little bit better. I think it does. I think under Pochettino, look, I know it's easy to say that off of a win, but, I I think it just under Poch, it was weird. It was 1, because he was Spurs, and 2, I just felt like the way we were navigating fixtures was just so incredibly wrong. I didn't really have much to moan about apart from maybe Nkunku, I feel like is right on the cusp after that game against Bournemouth, but then after his performance today and Jackson's performance, and Nkunku's definitely not looking at number 9, I just think that there's a moment for Nkunku. I don't want is I don't wanna see Nkunku leave Chelsea because I think he's a really good player, and I think he'll go and have a really good spell somewhere else. Jackson's been given man of the match here, but I actually think it could be split between him or Caicedo. I think Caicedo was fantastic. Um, yeah, really happy with that. Really, really happy. I I don't really have anything negative to say about Chelsea's performance today, apart from I just think it could have been a bit more, which is the if I could come away with every game and I say that, "Oh, could have had a couple more," and we've done that well, I'll love that. I'll take that every single time. Jackson, and I'd say that this season, the consistency looks like it's there a little bit more than it was last year, although it's only 5 games in. Casado is following in Kante's footsteps. I have to agree. Have to agree. With performances like that, they have an effect on the game like Kante had an effect on the game. There's a lot of differences. They're not exactly the same. I don't think you're ever going to get another N'Golo Kante, but the way Casado was putting himself about, winning tackles, his passing was very good. That's what I want to see from him. And I feel like we can see a pretty obvious upwards trajectory with Casado. Since remember last year he didn't even have a preseason, and yes, there was moments where he looked really poor and he was isolated, but today he wasn't left isolated, was he? And he's able to, and he's building his confidence up. I just think, yeah, really good performance from him, and I've been supporting him for a while now. I think you have to give credit where it's due, and that's a player that's really starting to level up. It's a cold world. It is, Taku. It really is. I mean, 2 chances today. He had the one very early on in the first half, hit his heel, went just wide. Gets the second chance. It's probably a little bit more difficult, buries it. What like, he's great. And if that's what it looks like for Cole Palmer this season, that's what it looks like. I'm sure he will navigate it. I'm sure he will. And I trust that Chelsea will. And if Jackson keeps scoring, we're capable of anything. Because if a striker's scoring the goals that he scored today outside of the boot and one through the legs, that's top quality. It's as good as Isak. when a striker's doing that. Yeah, he's had a really good game today, and I think well, I will put this out there is that I think Levi Colwell had a very good game today. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I always find something with Levi, like there's a couple of passes that are just a bit lazy and he just smashes them. Not today. Today looked like a really experienced performance, and I'm really happy with that. I really like defensively. I was worried about this defense coming into the season, and at times I think it's been woeful. But today, today's something that shows me that this defense can be better than what I expected it to be. Um, I would love a right back to be back in. I've got to be honest. I'd love a right back to be in this team. Can you imagine adding Reese to this team? Can you imagine Gusto to this team? I just think it gets even better. Um, what I'll say is, I think today looked more like a game of football. I think like left back was inverted a lot in Cucurella, but it worked, and we saw that at the end of last year. I think the centre midfielders were where they should have been. I think the striker and the attackers were in positions that felt quite balanced. I I feel like sometimes Maresca's tried to do exactly like our squad is gonna be a joke, um, if players can stay fit, and then if they can improve and get better, it's not a like Maresca said, it's not an automatic thing though. These players have got to work. Like we talk about Madueke being really, really good, obviously against Wolves, putting up a lot of goals, but it's been a few games now where he hasn't put up many numbers, hasn't done much. People are starting to say like, "Is Madueke doing enough?" Like, if we can iron out that to a level of consistency that's a little bit better than that, a little bit of a level above, this is a really strong squad. If the players move in on the trajectory that most expect them to, if people expect Lavia to get better, if people expect Enzo to get better, Cucurella to get better, the defenders in Colwell, Fofana to get better, Gusto to get better, Reece James to become fitter, Jackson to become better, Cole Palmer to become better. This squad obviously looks fantastic. Even today, though, bringing those players off the bench, it excited me that actually the performance from those players when they come off the bench, it wasn't actually that good. So that's what's slightly concerning. I think Enzo, I think to put okay, I think to put these two together and say that Enzo and Casado today are very good is wrong because I think Casado was quite clearly a level above Enzo. But I think Enzo's had an okay game today. I think Enzo had a game today that I would expect a, a player in the Premier League to have in central midfield. I felt like he was occupying positions that just felt a little bit more familiar after the start. He kind of just drifted in position into positions that felt a bit more familiar. And I felt like the whole team just felt like a bit more of a familiar system today rather than players playing in stupid positions and inverting for the sake of it. And I felt like what players were asked to do today had a positive effect on the team. Whereas I think a couple of weeks ago against Palace, Maresca asked him to do things that didn't have a positive effect on the team. I think he's asked Enzo at times to play in a position that didn't help. He's asked Casado against Palace to play in a position that didn't help him to have a good effect on the team. Look at Casado today when he's asked to do what he does. He's fantastic. Enzo looks better because Casado's in that midfield. Cucurella asked to do what he does. You know what? On the right back, he just left him there and was just like, just defend as a right back for me today. You don't need to bomb forward, just defend. And they did, and that's all I wanted. Maresca, I finally saw a stamp today in terms of the football that I expected to see. And I saw some less meddling, which I just don't if I've said it before, if you are going to meddle and you're going to rotate players and you're going to add this fluidity in and you're going to ask a player to do something to affect the game, make sure it's affecting the game in a way that's going to help you to win it. Make sure that there's a reason behind that and you're not just doing it for the sake of things. You're overcomplicating it tactically when you don't need to because football can be a very simple game and that can be sometimes really difficult to do. But today we did it well and we got a result that is a really good result away from home against West Ham, which has been a really tough fixture for us to navigate at times. So, yeah, very, very happy with that. Very, very happy. Um, I would say Chelsea's best performance of the season by a long way. 2 halves there that were very good. That's a great stat, actually, fair play, and I think something needs to be look, away from home, I think we're a better side. I think we are. I think the way the game is, it allows us to be a better side. Um, yeah, really good, actually. Really, really good. Honestly, thank you, Maresca, for putting on a proper solid performance today and getting your boys up for it and navigating a London derby that could have been tricky because that's difficult. We've struggled in that fixture before. Maybe he gets it. And I feel a bit of a connection there today after that one. And I have at times, and I think about United last season, I think about Villa, I think about Palace last season. I felt a connection, and then it kind of just drifted in and out a bit with all the changes in the summer and all the stuff about the owners and that. But today, off the back of that, I just enjoyed that performance. I can't say that about too many games last season and this season so far. Honestly, great game. Guys, we are looking for 20 likes on this one. I appreciate every single person joining in. I don't have too much else to add. I think it's a solid performance. Chelsea win 3-0. We're buzzing at the end. We're cheering. We're celebrating. There's a connection there between the players and the fans. Again, that's not been about at Chelsea a lot recently. So, yeah, great performance. We're looking like we're in a decent position in the table. Feels a bit more natural as a Chelsea fan to look at the top of the table and see us there or thereabouts for the Champions League places. 10 points out of 15. I can really live with that. We dominated that game. What I will say though is that we need to make sure that we can put performances in like that against better opposition because we will play much tougher teams than West Ham. West Ham today, woeful, woeful. I'll be shocked if they stick around with that manager if performances stay the same because they will not be happy. But Nicholas Jackson today and Moises Caicedo, absolutely unbelievable performances. They didn't do much wrong. And I'll also say that Levi Colwell had a fantastic game defensively, as did the majority of the defense. But I thought Levi Colwell, for me today, stood out as a really solid performer as well. And I think to say anyone was bad for Chelsea today, it probably wouldn't be fair. I think that's a real solid performance in two halves. Managers got it right, players have got it right, and we can celebrate and enjoy our weekend. I agree. I completely agree, and I think the difference with today is that we were clinical and we took our chances, and we didn't do that against Palace. But we're learning and we're moving forward. And since that Palace game where it was all over the place, I haven't seen Maresca get it wrong with his tactics in a way that he did against Palace. So people are learning. Got a young manager and a slightly inexperienced manager, a slightly inexperienced squad. They've got to learn. I expect this season to still be a roller coaster, but we are moving in the right direction, and it feels good to see Chelsea doing that, and it feels good to see us have this depth where we're able to bring players off the bench and you don't feel like the quality drop off is that much in terms of the player that you're bringing on. And that is a good feeling because I think at times, with all the injuries we've had in previous seasons, I've felt like the squad hasn't really been there. But today, all right, the performances weren't unbelievable, but to be able to bring on João Felix and Kunku, Neto, we know they're exciting players and they've had good spells and they have better spells. Dewsbury Hall for me he's going to take a bit of time to adjust, but as a squad and a performance today, all round, very, very happy with that, and one to really build some confidence. Up the Chelsea, what a fantastic performance. 3 points away at West Ham. Go and enjoy your weekends and keep the blue flag flying high. I will speak to you all very soon. I'm very, very happy.